Hi, I'm Jenny Rosencrantz with the University of Maryland Extension. And it's May. I love the month of May because it means it's finally warm enough to come out and plant a vegetable garden. With me is Mr. P, and we're with Salisbury Middle School. And it looks like we planted all this garden, but we actually had a lot of kids help. And they planted 2 different gardens. They planted a cold season garden and a warm season garden. So join us coming up next, right here on Pack 14, Delmarva Gardens, and all the kids.
Yep.
Come on, guys. Let's plant this garden.
Get the water. Very good. Shovel.
And somebody needs to water this right here. We're here at Salisbury Middle School, and we're going to plant a garden. It's May. It's the perfect time to get a lot of this stuff out. And we've got a whole variety of plants that the students here have gone ahead and planted over here that look fabulous, and some other things that we've gone ahead and bought. And we've also got some seeds, so we're going to go ahead and start working on it. I wanted to share a couple of things that we've got here that I purchased that you haven't grown yet. This is Chard. And this is the rainbow chard. I was telling you guys about how chard can come in just green, but rainbow chard has got veins and stems that are either bright red or bright yellow or bright orange. Now, this is what they call a cold crop. And a cold crop basically grows early in the season. It likes the cool temperatures. So as long as the temperatures stay kind of cool, we can go ahead and work with it, and it'll grow very, very nicely. Once it gets hot, you're going to have to harvest it quickly and eat it really quickly. This is pretty dry. When I pull it out, you can see that this is really, really dry soil. So before we even get around to doing anything with it, you're going to have to go ahead and water it. I noticed that we've got some flasks full of water, so that'll be a good thing to do. You want to hydrate it really good before you put it in the ground because it needs a little bit of tender loving care before you get started on it. We've also got some really cool tomatoes. Let's see, I love tomatoes. Look at how nice and dark green they are, really pretty. And they're in a peat pot. What we're going to do in this one is we're actually going to go ahead and rip off the top inch of the peat pot when we plant it, because if you leave it there, what will happen is the water is going to wick up through the bottom of the soil in the garden, and it will actually dry what's ever inside the pot. So you always have to rip off the top inch of that, and you guys can do that without any problem. We've also got some peppers. We've got red peppers, yellow peppers, green peppers, all kinds of cool stuff, and some cabbage that's just a different color. And we were talking about how some things looks like for instance, this is broccoli right here, and we were talking about how it didn't really look like broccoli that we eat, and neither does the cabbage, but it has to grow a lot of leaves before it can go ahead and what they call head up, in other words, put the head on it. So we have some of these things. We also have some tomatoes that I got at a greenhouse that were injured, and we weren't sure what it was, and we were looking at, could this be disease, could this be insect, and what we determined is something called it's an abiotic problem. Biotic means it's alive, like a disease, like a fungus, a bacteria, a virus or something like that, or a bug, and it wasn't any of those. So since it wasn't anything like a live disease or a live bug, then it was abiotic, something that was maybe too hot, too cold, maybe something wrong with the heater, some sort of gas in the heater. So what we did is we took a look at it, we unpotted it. These have only been planted for the past 3 or 4 days, and we find that there's already roots coming out of here, so the plants are going to be just fine. And we've got some plants that you guys planted. Look at these. These are fabulous. They've got some sunflowers here. They're already growing really tall. And see, sunflowers get tall as you?
Yeah.
At least as tall as Mr. P, and I think much taller than me. We're going to want to plant them so that they are not going to be blocking the sun. So when you design your garden, you have to figure out where the sun is going to be. And then you also have some cucurbits. These look fabulous. Look at these little guys. They've already got the cotyledons are here and the first true leaves. And you can tell the difference between the cotyledons because they're totally round, whereas the first leaves are really edgy. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started and get planting. Okay, who wants to irrigate the plants that are dry? Don't all step forward at one time.
Come on.
There we go.
All right, Carson.
There we go. Would you help too?
Yeah, sure.
There we go.
Yeah.
So some of these, on this side they need it. Okay, so we need to decide which way is north, south, east, and west in the garden. So who knows how to do that? All right. Well,
guys,
sun is
don't be
coming up
shy.
this way, and
Don't be
so
shy.
I think that
Come on.
that'll probably be north over there. So Mr. P, you want to go ahead and grab a couple kids for the
All
sunflowers?
right, let's go. Manginson, Anna, come on.
All right.
That'll work.
We
That'll
need some
cover it.
trowels. Beautiful plants.
All right,
Oh,
here's
wow,
this
look
too.
at the
We
roots
can
on
use
these
that.
sunflowers.
Let's go.
They've gone
Let's
right through
go.
the
Come
newspaper,
on.
and they are popping out. This is a totally biodegradable
in. You girls
pot.
can
We don't
just
have
hop
to do
in.
too much. We're going to cut the top off of it, of course.
That's right.
See how the roots have just come right through. This is
You gotta be
perfect.
diverse.
Excellent. Okay, so who's going to help plant this sunflower?
We are.
Okay, I'm going to give you these three. I'm going to give you these three. These are beautiful. And
Water.
we're going to give you these three. Now, before you plant them, you want to decide how far apart they need to be. At least a foot apart. Have fun. All in the back. Okay, so you're doing cucumbers? Okay,
Beakers.
let's
Some big
see.
beakers so they can just,
Well, I think maybe we should get the tomatoes up in in front of the sunflowers, because tomatoes are going to
All
get
right, guys,
tall.
those are the sunflowers.
And
So think about it.
excellent. So what we need to do is decide how you want to have the garden. My thought is, you've got the garden divided into two different sections. Why don't we have the kids plant the cold crops in this far garden over here?
Okay.
And then we'll have the tomatoes and the warm crops like the cucumbers, the cucurbits and the beans and all that in that garden. And that way, when this garden is done, we could go ahead and plant things like pumpkins. Cool idea.
All right.
Okay, so we need to get the kids organized with this too.
Okay.
Sunflowers around the edges.
Only on the north side.
All right. I need a
So
group
they're
for
gonna
the
plant
cold
the-
plants.
Do we
All right,
put
girls.
this on this side or on the side?
Exactly.
Yep.
Here we go, girls.
All right, girls. You got the cold plants.
There we go.
Watch the
Good
plant
enough.
right there. Watch
All
them
right.
do
So you're going to want to plant those in rows.
So
You're going to want to plant them on rows near where the water hose is. Okay? So you guys do that. And you guys want to plant them like right at the edge, but about a foot apart. Yeah, and if you can go ahead and weed off that, that's excellent. Excellent. Good idea. Okay, before you plant anything, you're right, you dig the hole first, and then when you get the plant out, you don't want to pull the plant out like this because you can actually break the plant off. You want to turn it upside down and push gently on the bottom and sometimes the sides to coax that little plant out. There we go. And see, you've got these roots, okay? When you plant it, roots are really funny. They just like to go in the circle that they were in. So you're going to have to very gently break it up just like that on both sides. Just break it up a little bit. And sometimes you might even have to pull this out just a little bit, just to tease the roots out, okay? All right, there you go. Very good.
let's see if we can get that out.
And that's good. They're planting right against the soaker hoses. So once this turns the soaker hoses on, they'll have it automatically watered. Perfect.
How deep should we make the holes?
That's a good question. You want to have the holes as deep as the plant is deep. So when you get one of the plants out, there you go.
Yeah, that's it, guys. No, just put them in a
That's
row.
good.
You're just gonna make a row. Those are gonna grow pretty tall and straight, so you could.
Okay, good. So you guys are having these right against the fence, and we're using trowels and bulb planters. I think trowels would probably be easier to do it. But go ahead, pull the bulb planter out. There you go. See, yeah, the soil is almost too dry for the bulb planter, so let's go ahead and just use a trowel. Bulb planters work really well when the soil is heavy enough or here, this is the trowel right there. There you go. So dig a hole. There you go. And perfect. Good. So what they've done is they've planted a couple of different seeds there. Now, with this particular plant, we want to go ahead and just take some of this newspaper off. Can you feel how that's already dry?
Yeah.
So that's just going to, again, wick the moisture right out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tear the newspaper off just like that. So we're going to expose about that
I would
much.
do this. I would
Okay,
do
go ahead and put that in the hole.
2 of your feet.
Good. And plant it. Cover it with
So
soil.
Are you gonna go that way?
Excellent. Very good. Very good.
All right. Well then.
Okay. And then who's going to water it in?
Wraps right around.
Excellent. I love the idea of using beakers. Let's see how the girls are doing with the cold crops. These are crops that are going to be ready this spring, actually. Things like the chard are already ready almost to eat. So you guys are planting it. Good. How's it going? Good. You got one of them out? There you go. Good. It comes out a lot easier also when it's wet like that too. Okay, that looks deep enough. Now, did you break the roots up, hon? So break the roots up a little bit, and good.
Good job.
Excellent. And a little on the sides too.
Put,
Sometimes you just have to tease them apart. There you go. Otherwise, they don't have a tendency to grow into the new soil that they're going to be in. Okay, here, let me show you how I'll do it this side. Do
yep.
it like that? Okay, now you do it on this side.
cool. Have you ever planted spinach before? Hope?
No, but I'm putting in like peas and tomatoes.
Oh yeah? Would
That's
you like
a little
spinach?
deep, so pull it up a little, adds a little bit of soil.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, with pasta.
Good. Okay, now put it in.
Yeah, I usually eat it.
That's fine, and then just fill the soil around it. Very nice. And we're going to need to get people to water these in also. Very good.
Okay. And you broke up
Nicely
the roots? Yep. Okay, go ahead. I'll hold it. All right, go ahead. Very good.
I can see you've got some spinach planted,
Because the pipes are so much
and you've
pressure,
got
it bangs against the wall.
the chard in a row, and you're going this
all
way
the
this
way
time with the cabbages. Okay.
I know. So fill that up. as
But you're
much as
following the
possible.
soaker hoses. That's very good.
Just turn it on slowly. There you go.
Now, the other thing you have to remember is how large these get and how much space they need between them. So, like, for instance, this is cabbage. So you want to go ahead and plant the other one at least a foot away. So about where your foot is. You might want to, yeah, yeah, there you go. Good.
We have tomato.
Excellent.
So we'll see. We have to say it's not first. They're growing, they need to do that.
They're so colorful. Okay, push that down in the soil just a little bit more. There you go.
Oh, really?
That's good. Excellent.
All right, good job, guys. Are you gonna be able to get the other ones down on the other aisle, on the other row? Well, we have just those two left. Okay, you can put 1, 2 here.
Well,
then.
actually, you don't really want any on this side here because the sun's coming up this way and over here. You don't want anything shading.
Mr. B,
I'll take that.
so this will
Can we plant on the side right here?
Well, see, the sunflowers are going to get really tall, and the sun's coming up on this side, and it's going to be here in the middle of the day, and then the late afternoon is going to be here. So if you have the sunflowers here, like I'm standing here, I would actually be shading them, the rest of the garden. And you're going to have your tomatoes here, and they need as much sunshine as they can get. So rather than planting them around here, let's continue on down into the other garden. And that'll be fine. So here, let me give this to you. There you go. Excellent. We've also got some radishes. So let's go
Okay.
ahead and get the kids planted on the radishes in the cold
one?
In the cold
Okay.
garden.
All
Okay.
right.
Good. Okay, because this is a school, we only have the kids for a short period of time. They've done a fabulous job of planting, and then they're going to have to leave. But before they do, you have to label what you planted. So did you find the label?
Yes.
All right, good. So where are you going to put it?
Right.
Right there. So that way we know that that's where the spinach is. And that way, if somebody comes by and goes, "What is that?" they can take a look at the tag. And we need the. Do we still have the tag for the chard? We might have to go look for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys all for being such good planters. We've got the sunflowers already taken care of, and we're going to get the radishes in just a second. Good. Okay, well, what I want you guys to do is we have this type of pots. They're easy to go ahead and fill with soil. They've got the holes in them already, so we're going to, once we're done, we'll put them in the greenhouses. And these are cherry tomatoes, so they're very, very fast growing, and they're going to be easy to eat and all that sort of thing. So what I'd like you to do is fill the containers with soil. Just sprinkle it in. I don't want you to mash it in because that would get rid of all the air, and they need air. And then open the container of tomato seeds and then plant the seeds. Maybe 2 to 3 seeds per container. So if you guys will take care of that, that would be excellent.
All right.
Good. All right, good. So they're doing the radishes?
Yeah, I told them to get all the radishes in before they leave. So
Awesome.
we'll get all that in.
All right.
Tyler, I need your help.
Okay, I've got some water so we can go ahead and water the soil in. Okay, you're doing a good job. Let me move this out of the way. You guys are doing an excellent job. Okay, you've got to fill all the holes to the very, very top. And the nice thing about working outside is if soil gets dumped on side, you can go ahead and just brush it off. Just like that. Very cool. Nice, nicely done. You have a couple more. And the nice thing about if you get soil on your hands, it's easy to wash off. Good enough. All right. And there's just one over there. Perfect. Okay, so go ahead and put 3 seeds to every hole, and then we've got the water in these adorable beakers and flasks. Definitely a chemistry class. Well, science is science. Perfect. All right, everybody's got tomato seeds. There we go. Tomato seeds are pretty tiny, and they look like just the same types of tomato seeds that you would find in a tomato, because they are. So make sure you have about 2 or 3 seeds to each little container, and then we'll go ahead and water them in. Thank you. Putting seeds in the soil can be very relaxing if the seeds are cooperative. If the seeds are really, really tiny, sometimes it's frustrating because it's like, did the seed actually get in there? Especially if you can't see them. Or if it's a dark seed and you're working with dark soil, it can be very frustrating. But this is good. These are easy to see. Very good. Okay, so just, there you go, pour it. Now this is kind of dry, so you're gonna have to pour a little bit more. Okay. There you go, and then on this one, there you go. And this one. See how the water just sort of absorbs it and then it seeps right on down here? So we'll probably have to water these now and then another couple of minutes. So here you go. You got it. You know how to do it. Excellent. Good job. Now these tomato seeds are so tiny that they really don't have to be placed into the soil. They can be put on top of the soil, and when you water them in, that kind of has them sinking into the soil automatically. So that works out really good. Well, we have a new group of kids, and what we're going to do is we're going to finish up the cold garden first, and then we have a whole bunch of kids that are going to help plant all the warm season crops like tomatoes and peppers and yummy stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get these kids started. Okay, so you guys have, what do you have in your package of seeds?
Carrots.
You have carrots, and how deep do they need to be planted?
1/2 of an inch.
1/2 of an inch. So you're going to make a trench 1/2 inch deep in the soil, following the soaker hose. Okay, and then what do you have?
I have Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Do you like Brussels sprouts?
No.
Okay, he doesn't like Brussels sprouts, but he's willing to plant them for us anyways. How deep do those seeds need to be planted?
1/4 of an inch.
So you can find all the information you need on the package of the seeds. Okay, so you're going to plant those. The 4 of you guys are going to help with that, and you're going to plant
Broccoli.
broccoli. Okay, do you have someone to help you with that?
No.
Okay, you're going to help her with that. And you know how to plant those?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to plant them. You're going to break the seeds, the roots open a little bit. We'll let you guys go, and let's go ahead and get the sun guides going.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
She wanted to know what the difference between a hot garden and a cold garden.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay, Tanya, you asked me about what's the cold garden and what's the hot garden?
Yeah.
Well, a cold garden is plants that like the cold, early spring plants. Things like chard, spinach, lettuce, things that like the cold weather, grow really, really fine in the cold weather. And then a hot garden is things like tomatoes that don't like to grow in the ground unless the ground is actually warm to the touch. So we have all 3 of the ladies here planting tomatoes. We have some gentlemen planting tomatoes. We've got some peppers, and we've got some cucumbers going on. And once we've got that, we're going to go ahead and do some seeds also. But what I want to do is put the plants in so you can see where they're going to grow. Okay? So let's hop in the garden over here, and let's see where they're going to go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and plant the tomatoes in the back of the garden. And the reason why I say that's the back of the garden is the sun comes up over there, and then in the middle of the day it'll be over here, and the late afternoon it's going to be over here. So the shady part of the garden is where you all are standing. So we've already got the sunflowers, and they're not going to shade anything because they're going to be the very, very back. But then the tomatoes are going to be actually taller than the peppers. And cucumbers, what do cucumbers do? Do you all know? They sprawl on the ground, so they're going to be out in the very, very front. So what we want you guys to do is go ahead and plant the tomatoes. Now, on the tomato package, you'll see how far they should be planted. At least 3 feet between them. So you almost have about the same amount of distance right there. And then the peppers will be in front, and then we'll plant these little cucumbers in the very, very front. And then if we have room, we're going to put the seeds in. Okay? Cantaloupe. Yeah, you like cantaloupe? Yep. Awesome. Well, we'll see if we have room for the cantaloupe. Okay, now when you're planting these containers. Let me put these seeds down here. Let me borrow this for a second. This is a peat pot, and you can see that some of the roots are coming out really, really nicely. You can see the roots coming out. But what we want to do is tear off this top. So we'll basically pull this off. This is going to be interesting. We might actually have to get scissors to cut this. Oh, maybe we can just squish this on down. Okay, yeah, you guys can go ahead and squish it on down. And keep the tag in, because the tag will tell you what it is. Like, for instance, this one is,
Red pepper.
it's a red pepper, right. And it's even got the color of the pepper on it. So if you can't read, you can look at the color. But you all can read really well. That's not a problem. So let me go ahead and just move this out of the way. And yeah, the peat pot is going to be a little bit destroyed, but that'll be just fine. Squish, squish, squish. And now that is ready to plant. There you go. So ladies, take off, and gentlemen, take the tops off the tomato plants, and let's go ahead and get them planted.
Now, if we don't remember, we're going to forget what it is, and somebody might think it's a what? Or a weed, and they might what? That's right, and we don't want that until it's ready to eat, right?
Sorry, I was saying
Okay, you can pour more, guys. Go ahead and pour a little bit more water in there. That's right, that's right. The ones in the grocery store come from somebody's garden, right? Very good.
Okay, you want to put it about 2 feet apart, so right where his foot is. So just ask him to move his foot. There we go. Good. So let's go ahead and pick this up.
That's all right, we'll pick it up.
Good. Excellent. Thank you. And you got the tags?
we gotta water it.
Yes.
What do we
Okay.
water it at?
There's a bucket of water over there, and we've got some beakers and some flasks. Because tomatoes need room to grow. And what we'll end up doing is we'll probably end up, they'll be growing and falling into the cool garden, but by that time that'll be a warm garden. Excellent. Now, honey, that needs to be planted a little bit deeper. See how that's still out of the soil? So I need you to pick it up. Very good, very carefully. And then dig in a little bit deeper hole, maybe about another 2 to 3 inches deeper. The neatest thing about the tomatoes is it's the only plant I would ever tell anybody to plant really, really deep. If these were really leggy, we could pinch off these leaves right here like this and take off the cotyledons. These little round ones are the cotyledons, and they don't have any indentations. And pinch off this one right here and this one right here. And we could actually plant these really, really deep. You know, it's hard to dig because that ground is so dry. Good.
Do we have, Mr. P?
Do we have more?
Do we have something that penguins on?
You're going to have to come up with an idea on how to do that, Jay.
Okay, I see you guys have gone ahead and planted a straight line, and you've watered it, and you've gone ahead and designated from here to there where the seeds are. Do you know what you planted?
Yep, the carrots.
The carrots.
This picture.
Okay.
Hit like the stick and staple the picture of the
Oh,
carrots on
excellent. They're going to staple the picture to the stick and put the stick in here so everybody will know what's going on. All right, good. Excellent. Wow. Well, this has been fabulous. You guys have done a great job. We've gotten warm season crops. We've got the peppers. We've got the tomatoes in. And we've got the cool season crops. We've got a garden here. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, I want to thank all of you guys for doing such a great job of planting. We have a couple more seeds. And I want to thank all of you for watching Delmarva Gardens right here on Pack 14. And thank you, Mr. P, for bringing all of this garden together for us.
Thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay, well, we have a little patch right here for you.